It has always been lamented that today's generation, especially in Philippine culture, that reading has become as archaic as a typewriter. Who reads nowadays, especially in printed form? Our culture, our Philippine culture, have always been an oral culture. So reading, even before the rise of the internet, schools have been hard pressed to convince people, to convince children to read. So it is a bit refreshing to see an artist, a sculptor in his mid 30s, to be doing an artwork, a piece on reading and the benefits. Very old fashioned, but we have to remember it may be old, but the word fashion is still there, so it was once fashionable. So we see here a man reading. What is he reading? At first, it looks like he's reading like a Bible, an old-fashioned leather Bible, or he could also be reading a planner or Filofax, if you remember what a Filofax is. If not, you Google it. And he has a light bulb helping him, giving him light to read. But it's more than a literal light. It symbolizes what happens to him, to his mind, to his imagination, to his knowledge when he reads. And it is but apt, if you notice, that the sculpture is made from nails pieced together. Before you read, you have a lot of information, but reading helps makes them cohesive as the sculpture that Dhennis made from nails. Towards Progress, the title he gives to this work, is not the only one he came up with. He came up with a series actually on reading. So now that our 21st century guy, looking and judging by his build, he's probably a Generation Z. And he is now discovering the beauty, the benefits of reading again longer than a Twitter post or a Facebook post. He is now absorbing. If you notice, the light bulb behind him has become bigger. It's not even a bulb anymore. So it symbolizes what's happening in his brain as he is absorbing somebody else's thought. He doesn't have to agree with what he's reading, but at least he's interacting. From just plainly sitting, now he's almost fallen off his chair from excitement, from being aghast. We don't know, but at least he is interacting. Okay, Dennis Sigua calls it knowledge is security. May I boldly suggest that he change it to knowledge is liberating. We are not the same person anymore after reading all the contents. But he does not stop there. There's a third one, and this is the last part of his series, and it's called Imagination. So now he's on top of the bulb. It's not the bulb now giving him enlightenment, but he's now ready to jump off, to leap off, and he's now ready to interpret what he has read, what he has learned, and what he has absorbed. Like we said, you are not the same person after you have gone through a book, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with the contents or not. You are not the same person. And this one, not just sitting plainly, he's not falling off his chair, but he is excited. If you notice, he's not even done with the book, and he's already excited. And that is what a book does for us. This may not be a campaign for reading, but it sure will help the advocacy. In Sigua, you can find out his own story, the story behind his series. I would have wanted to read it, but then it's in very good Tagalog, and I'm sure I will not do justice to it. So that's the link. I will provide the link in the comment section. Oh, by the way, it's a sculpture, so it's 3D. So far, we've only seen the front. Here's a video. This is the beauty of sculptures. It's 3D. You can see all angles. It is not flat. And you can see different interpretations of it as you go through the piece. That's advantage of a sculpture. You can go around it. It's the closest thing to a live figure. And you cannot observe a live figure that way. It's very intrusive. You're going to get into a lot of fights. You can see Dennis Sigua's works in Actol at Robinson's Galleria until the end of this month, June 2021. And if you miss it, you can go to his Facebook profile and be illuminated with the joy of reading. Reading is essential. Art is essential.